Jury selection has started for the Sarah Hartsfield murder trial on Monday, September 29th in Chambers County, Texas. Sarah is being charged with taking the life of her fifth husband, Joseph Hartsfield. Now, it was reported that Sarah and Joseph had met online and had only been married a short 11 months when on January 7th of 2023, Sarah made a 911 call claiming that her husband, Joseph, who is a diabetic, was unconscious. Police state that when they arrived on the scene, they had found several insulin pens laying on the floor next to the bed where Joseph was found. They also report that Sarah had delayed to call 911 for an hour or more after she had found Joseph. And then on February 2023, Sarah was arrested and taken to the Chambers County Jail, where she has remained on a reduced bond of $2 million. It is estimated that this trial will last about 2 weeks, and the judge has agreed to allow cameras in the courtroom but no audio until closing arguments and the verdict is read. It has also been said that several of Sarah's ex-husbands and her ex-partners would be testifying during trial, like her first husband, Titus, who was her high school sweetheart, and they had divorced in 1995, but during the divorce, he claims that she told him that he would be lucky if he survived this divorce. Now, he states that Sarah continued to harass him to where he finally had to get a no-contact order to make her stop coming around. And then, in 1996, Sarah was arrested for assaulting her second husband. Now, a week later, those charges were dropped. Then she went on to marry her third husband, and at the end of that divorce, she was also engaged to a man named David Bragg from Minnesota. Now, while she was engaged to this David Bragg, a phone call came in that gunshots were heard in the home. When police arrived, she claims that David Bragg had fired on her first, and she fired back in self-defense. That's when Douglas County, Minnesota decided that this was self-defense, and again, Sarah was not charged. But Douglas County, Minnesota, after hearing what had happened between Joseph Hartsfield and Sarah, they have decided to reopen that case and make sure they got it right. Now, Sarah's fourth marriage ended in 2021, and then she married Joseph Hartsfield in 2022. And then Joseph lost his life in January of 2023. Now, Joseph's family will be in the courtroom during this trial, and I hope that they get the justice that Joseph deserves.